Hello, my name's David Seaman, and this is the Three Lions Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions Podcast. My name is Russ Osborne and this is an independent England football supporters podcast. I hope you're well. The podcast had a bit of a break for Easter. If you did anything over that break, I hope you had a good one. Whilst I didn't put anything out, I have still been speaking to a few people behind the scenes. So hopefully in the not too distant future, some more interesting content to come your way. As I've mentioned before, if you do have an idea for the show, then by all means get in touch. If email works for you, threelionspodcast@gmail.com. Or there are the socials. You can find me on those: X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the usual places. You can drop me a line on those, or a follow or a like. And quickly, before we get on to this episode, there is the Ko-fi account. ko-fi.com/Three Lions Podcast. Should you want to contribute to the hosting of the show, you're more than welcome. Any amount is gratefully appreciated. Now, back in 2021, it was episode 148. I spoke with Stuart Langworthy about walking football and the England side. I thought it'd be a good time to revisit walking football. So I've invited Stuart back onto the podcast. Stuart there. Hello there. You all right?
Yeah. Hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome back. Back then, you were manager of the over 60s England men's and assistant to the over 40s women's team. Is that still the case?
Well, I'm still manager of the England over 60s team. For the men, but we managed to find someone to take a little bit of strain off of me, so I'm no longer involved with the women's 40s team, but I've since then become a director of the Walking Football Association.
Okay.
And been heavily involved in the growth of the impairment game, so still as busy as ever. Don't know where I found time to work, actually.
It's all enjoyable, though.
It's brilliant. It's a sport which continues to grow, continues to give so much to so many people. It's changing the lives of so many people in England and around the world now. So, love it.
Well, I know there's some big news coming up later this year. But if we can, maybe we can just cast our mind back over the past couple of years. I mean, back to 2021 when we last spoke. I mean, what's taken place in the world of walking football since we last spoke?
Well, I've been very fortunate to have travelled the world, really, to help introduce the game into lots of different countries. Off the top of my head, we've been to Malaysia, we've been to Singapore, Hong Kong, Croatia, Ireland, big developments in the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, France. There's probably lots of places that I haven't mentioned, but been very, very lucky to have gone to these places to help them understand what walking football is and how it's played, and to help them to develop the game in their own countries. So really, that's been one massive development and one area that I've been involved in a lot. And that culminated in 2023 with the first ever World Nations Cup, where we actually had 29 countries involved across the two age groups of men's 50s and men's 60s. There were 12 in the men's 60s, and we went on to beat Canada in the semi-finals, and then we defeated France 3-0 in the final to become the first ever winners of the Walking Football World Nations Cup.
Oh, superb. Congratulations.
Thank you. A huge thing.
Yeah, and I believe that was played at St George's Park, is that right?
Yeah, that was played at St George's Park, which is a fantastic venue, indoors, which was just as well because the weather in August 2023 wasn't brilliant. And yeah, it was just fantastic. We had Rwanda there, we had Nigeria, Singapore were there, Canada. So most of the continents were represented, and the game has just gone from strength to strength around the world now.
Superb. I mean, for those of us, or for those people that maybe aren't so familiar with walk-in football, just want to give us a quick guide to it, sort of how many players on a team, and what the general rules are, maybe how they differ to regular football.
Yeah, it's a completely different sport, really, because it's generally 6-a-side. It can be 7-a-side, and at club sessions it can be as many aside as you want. But competitions tend to be 6-a-side. It's below head height, and as the name suggests, there should be no running and no contact. So no tackling from behind. You can only tackle if you're in the eyesight of the person. Because the rules are written mainly for the safety of the players, because the vast majority of people who play the game are over 50 and over 60. We're now in the process of setting up an England over 80s team.
Wow.
So that tells you how far the game has come. We've already got an over 75s and an over 70s team. So it's an incredible sport for keeping people fit and healthy and giving them the opportunity to achieve things in their life that they could never have dreamt of. And, I'm a perfect example of that, really, where I would never have dreamt in my 39 years of teaching that I would end up by managing an England team and winning the World Cup. So stuff that dreams are made of.
Absolutely. And I'm guessing as well, there's the social aspect as well.
That's as important as the physical aspect. It's not just about keeping people physically fit and healthy. You're right. It's the social aspect. It's the banter on the pitch.
Yeah.
The new friendships that you've made, the going on tours together, the memories that I've got of going to places like Crete when we took the team over there, and Croatia, and just incredible memories of stuff that you could never have dreamt would have happened to you. So, and it still makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end when we stand there and sing the national anthem. It's you just could never have thought that this would have happened to you in your lifetime.
Yeah. Well, we'll touch on how you can get involved towards the end of the chat, because I'm sure the people there going, well, maybe I can get involved in that. But this year, there's some. Well, I'm guessing you're looking to defend the Nations Cup. Is that right?
Absolutely. So we created history by becoming the first teams to win it at over 50 and over 60. This year in Spain, near Torrevieja in October, the second World Nations Cup will take place. It's a much bigger event this time. We've included men's over 70s as well. So you've now got men's 50s, 60s, 70s. And for the first time, you've got women's 40s, 50s and 60s, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm told that there are well over 80 teams that have now applied and are registered to take part. And that's over 40 countries. So just shows in 2 years how much the sport has grown. It's huge. And we created history by being the first to win it, and now everyone's out to get us and stop us from retaining it. So, yeah. Well,
it has to be like that, doesn't it? I mean, the more sort of countries and people taking the sport up, I guess you'd expect to have a little bit of competition. What countries are sort of taking it seriously or have taken an interest in it?
Well, they're all taking it very seriously. Spain themselves have got a fantastic organisation over there, and they will be difficult opponents. France will be out to get their revenge on us. Italy, up until 2 weeks ago, the only side to have beaten an England over 60s team was Italy, and that was back in 2020. So we've gone a long time unbeaten until a couple of weeks ago when we played a shortened game against a Northern Ireland team who beat us 1-0. We were a bit off colour. Their goalkeeper was in inspired form, and that's the way football goes sometimes. even walking football. And when you're only six aside on a small pitch and you've only got 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it can be difficult sometimes. It's like a bit like a game of chess.
When you say a
It's
shortened game, how did that come about? Why was that?
Well, because England had two teams, Northern Ireland had one team, Wales had one team, and we wanted all of the teams to play against each other. So in order to get 3 games in for each team, you can't really play the normal sort of 30, 35 minutes each way or 20, 25 minutes each way. So in order to get the games in, again, you've got to protect the players at this age. You can't have over 60s playing 2 hours of football. So you play shorter games in order to get the number of games in.
Gotcha. Okay, this is sounding all very exciting in with regards to the competition of it. But you mentioned there as well that there's sort of other aspects of the sport coming in.
Well, since lockdown, I was very, very honoured to be asked to be involved in a project called the We Are Undefeatable virtual walking football project. So virtual walking football takes a bit of getting your head around. But,
I was go on.
But during lockdown, I was given 12 people who were living with long-term health conditions, and we split them into 2 teams of 6, and we had lots of competitions and lots of drills that they could do in safety of their own home and back garden. We had an awful lot of fun, and I'm still in touch with a lot of them, with most of that group actually. So it was a fantastic thing. But one of the guys who contacted me had Parkinson's, and he sent me a video which has since gone viral of him in his back garden shuffling very badly out to where he'd left a football. And then he put his walking stick down, and with the ball at his feet, he could run, he could twist, he could turn, he could do drag backs.
Really?
And then the dog comes in and takes the ball away from him, and suddenly he's got Parkinson's again.
How strange.
It's the most magical video to see.
Yeah.
And the conversation we had with him was that, well, if the football can do that for him, it can do it for other people. And we met up with a guy in Liverpool who was already running football for people with Parkinson's and stroke. And we decided that our mission would be to get as many walking football sessions available for people living with long-term health conditions as possible in England. And to date, we've helped and supported and physically started up and everything else, really supported over 70 new sessions. Many of those are for people with Parkinson's. We've just last weekend held the 4th Parkinson's National Cup, which was sponsored by Sport Parkinson's. We had 24 teams, so that's over 240 people with Parkinson's taking place, 74 games, and just the most incredibly inspirational day, seeing people turning up on sticks, using frames in wheelchairs, and then they go out on a pitch and they can suddenly play football. It's remarkable. It is absolutely remarkable to see, and it's so inspiring. And yeah, this idea that walking football can help people get up, get out, and get active has become a big thing in terms of impairment walking football. And we're incredibly proud of what we've achieved in helping so many people to get active and to get fit and healthy, physically and mentally.
Yeah. So you should. That's it's amazing to hear that how the game can sort of change people's lives in that way.
Yeah, and the beauty is the game is adaptable. So, for example, tomorrow at my club here in Gloucester, we will have between 40 and 50 people turn up. 5 or 6 of them will have Parkinson's. A few of them are stroke recoverers. Some are cancer recoverers. Some will have had joint replacements. Some have had heart conditions, COPD. We've got a lady with a prosthetic leg. We've got 5 guys who are over 80 and just a bit frail. We've got a couple of guys with mental health issues who come with their carers. And everyone just goes out on the pitch. We have 2 different pitches. We have a less mobile and a more mobile. No one is judged. No one cares who scores or how many they score. It's just great fun. And we do a lot of warming up and general exercise and movement and stretching and coordination. And then we all go for a cup of tea or coffee afterwards.
Wonderful.
And have a chat. And it's the most, brilliant couple of hours of the week. It's just fantastic to see how the game can mean so much to so many people and can help so many people. It's just incredible.
Great stuff.
The Parkinson's England team, we took them out to Singapore a couple of years ago, and they played non-Parkinson's teams in Malaysia and Singapore and Indonesia, and they won. And they won the tournament out there. Right. It was just magical seeing these guys and what it meant to these guys, and how the heat and their lack of medication, or when the medication wore off, how it affected them. And it just is so inspirational. And when these guys go to places, they don't just go there to play football. They go there and they want to meet the local Parkinson's societies, because in some countries, people with Parkinson's are still labelled as, they're put in a wheelchair and put in a home, and that's it.
Yeah.
And these guys go there and show what can be achieved, and they're so inspirational. And I just can't say enough about the cup that we held the other day. 240 people in one place with Parkinson's, and just amazing, absolutely amazing day. It's so humbling to see and so rewarding to be part of. And it's such an incredible community that is being built up. And it's an amazing condition, really, Parkinson's. People who are living with Parkinson's, because the medication hasn't changed for about 50 years. But people know that physical activity is good for people with Parkinson's. So that's why we're pushing it, because it can help to keep the condition at bay.
Yeah. No, inspirational stuff. And you mentioned the women's game as well is progressing along.
Oh, huge. We've now got women's England teams at over 40, over 50 and over 60. We've got a national cup at over 40, 50 and 60 for the women, 60s for the first time this year. I forgot to say, we've actually got a Parkinson's England team as well.
Oh, okay.
Now, in fact, we've got two. We've got an under 60 and an over 60. And we're soon to have a women's Parkinson's England team. And we've also got kicking cancer teams as well. So for players who've lived through cancer.
Yeah.
So, the game is growing, and this idea that, people who've lived with long-term health conditions can continue and play at a high level is taking over. But yeah, the women's game, barely a week goes by without us getting new women's sessions affiliated to the WFA. And we're very lucky that we're working in partnership with AXA at the moment as well to grow the game. They're very, very keen on linking up and using the women's Lionesses as an inspiration to help the women's walking football game grow. So that's happening as well.
Great stuff. Now, I did hear that there's a possibility that you might be heading off to Brazil as another place to stamp your passport.
Yeah, well, we were asked, and we were due to go out there in July. They're very keen for us to go out there and help them develop the game. We've had a bit of stalemate at the moment. It's now moved to August, but we're still waiting details. And in fact, just today, I've had 2 or 3 of my team saying, what's going on, because if they're not going to go to Brazil, they want to book other summer holidays. So, we want to know what's happening. We need to know if they want, or how many games they want us to play. Do they want us to train referees? Do they want us to coach? We don't want to coach them too well, because we don't want them to beat us in the World Nations Cup. But it would. I think they're talking about us going to Sao Paulo. So it's a great opportunity if it comes about. But like a lot of these things, I'm supposed to be going to Bali in November as well to take part in a conference and a tournament out there. But whether it actually happens or not remains to be seen. These things have a habit of being planned and maybe not come into fruition, because there's not the money in our sport that we would like there to be. So, that's a big issue for us, is making sure that we get sponsors and get the financial support in.
Yeah. Well, just going back to the the World Nations Cup in Spain. Should people want to watch it? Is there a way of watching it? Is it on like YouTube or something?
I think, as far as I'm aware, the games will be live streamed,
Right.
and we can, as soon as we know the link for that, we can pass it on to you so you can share.
Absolutely.
And if people want a late break in Spain, I'm sure that they'd be more than welcome. The area is a huge area, so there'll be plenty of spectator opportunities over there.
Yeah, it'd be good to see the stands with St George's crosses, wouldn't it?
That would be great. I mean, we had that last time. It's not, we're not a hugely supported sport at the moment. The largest crowd we've ever played in front of was 3,000 out in Crete, and that's because the soccer sixes were being played, and we played Greece in between the semi-final and the final.
Right.
So the people were already in there, and Greece were involved. So lots of people were in there. But generally speaking, we played when we played against Northern Ireland and Wales. I reckon we probably had about 200 people there watching us. So, it'd be nice to grow the numbers and get some more sponsorship. Certainly heading in the right direction. The game is definitely.
Yeah. Well, for those that maybe are listening and thinking, well, I'm of a certain age that it sounds like this would be for me. What's the best way of getting involved in walking football?
So the best way is to go onto the Walking Football Association website, and on there is a Find a Club button to hit, and you just put in where you are, and it should throw up a number of clubs. Also, just Googling walking football near me will usually throw up clubs, and also many of the local county FAs have leagues and things, and you may be able to find a club through that way. But certainly the best way is to go on to the Walking Football Association Find a Club section and put your details in there.
I believe that. Is that the wfa.co.uk?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And there's also lots of information on there about impairment walking football and the women's game as well. Yeah, a useful website, a useful place. And the other thing is, if there are people out there who are looking to start a session, then we've got some fantastic resources that we can share with people. A toolkit for new clubs, a toolkit for players, example of constitutions and things like that. So we've got a whole new club pack that we can share with people in order to help the game grow.
Sounds ideal. Yeah, no, I wish you all the very best of it. And I think, I shouldn't leave it so long until we speak again. I think we ought to lock in a date after sort of around October time or when you come home from Spain, hopefully with that trophy once again.
Yes, it would be brilliant to talk to you after that. I mean, hopefully we'll be winners again. And like I say, everyone will be out to beat us. I'm sure the competition will be much more tough the second time round. I mean, to be fair, we've trained half the teams out there and helped coach them, so they'll know what we're about now. But doing it on the pitch is another thing. So, yeah, it'll be tough, but we'll give it our best shot, and we're out to win it again. Great
stuff. Well, I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be able to talk about the sport. It means so much to me and so many people. So we're very keen to raise the profile. So again, thank you for taking the time to talk to me about it.
You're more than welcome, and we'll speak again.
Yeah, thanks ever so much.
Let's leave it there. Thank you very much for tuning in. On the Twitter account, I'll link to the various accounts that Stuart mentioned, the Walking Football, the Parkinson's football. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you to Stuart for his time. I will be back with you very soon with some more England content. I hope you can join me for it. So until then, take care of yourselves. Cheers.